All right, Magic Mikowski, we're loading into game number 1, FaZe versus Gamer First. Magic, I'll leave it to you. Good luck.
Oh boy, here we go, Mikowski. There's something about Championship Sunday that just like the adrenaline kicks in. And if you're here watching, thank you so much for tuning in. We love the Halo community. We love the Halo fans. And we're ready to watch these two teams go head to head. You can drop your prediction in the chat if you want to. FaZe versus G1. All we know is that the two teams have fought to be at this point, and they're going to fight even harder to secure a spot in that winners finals.
And one thing we do know, this is personal for the likes of Boo Boo, Dubu, and Falcated, at one point disrespected and disregarded by this FaZe Clan organization. What do they have as a little bit of bounce back, a little bit of you shoulda never let me go? Let's see if they have that gameplay in them as we hop on board here. The Boo Boo Dubu, electrifying player, electrifying loadout, has that disruptor shock rifle. He's put it to good use.
Great use with the disruptor kill. He is ultimately taken down, but the first time on the hill, one over by FaZe. Ultimately, 3 go down. Sab is the last alive. We talk about that last alive. How do you make an impact? Sab gets 1 kill before he finds the respawn screen. It might help the rest of the teammates like Suppressed now off of that respawn for G1 to get right back in the fight.
Yeah, Sab went down at around the 440 mark or so, and FaZe still doesn't have the hill. Look at the cause effect of that last player alive slay there from Sab. FaZe still doesn't have control of the hill, whereas they would have likely had 10-15 seconds uncontested off that team wipe. So a massive last player alive. Standout play there from Sab.
Double
standout play, and now Renegade is looking for a standout play of his own. He gets the double kill. He has the shock rifle in hand. FaZe are looking to get this hill to the halfway point, but Renegade actually rotating away because C-Plat is so important to hold that control if you're going to get that first hill. Looks like he's going to help one player, but he actually finds the target onto Sab. The second burst from the shock rifle finds it smart as he gets the takedown, but he's hunting for more kills. He can hear Falcated clambering up to the top of C. The body shot is not going to be enough. Renegade spent the last of that shock rifle ammo, but ultimately taken down. FaZe are cut short of even hitting halfway on the objective.
1 minute to go till that shock rifle comes back up. I'm really curious to see if Royal 2 is going to anchor and almost like 2-for-1 this, where he's got the high ground angle positioning over at top gold and he waits for that next shock rifle. But with Frosty having camo, I think the push is going to come on. The collapse is there. Royal 2 drops down from top gold, goes bottom gold, helps Snakebite take out Suppressed. Now we're starting to see a little bit of control form here for FaZe Clan.
Yeah, the eye check tells you that FaZe Clan are leading out when it comes to slays, but one weakness we've seen from this roster is that sometimes they don't build objective plays off of those slays. Right now seems to be the exception. They're doing a little bit of both. Snakebite now locking down that objective. Snakebite, as the overall kill leader, is not afraid to also hold on to the hill. As the rate of kills goes down, the plasma grenade finds its mark, and the quick rotation from Gamers First to try to counter on hill number 2.
And that was big because previously FaZe had that shock rifle over at the C platform. They looked primed and ready to cap that bottom mid hill and then have a sniper rifle protecting long haul. Instead, G1 gets the early break on this hill. Falcated looking to hold it down with the likes of Suppressed. You've got a Royal 2 cutting across mid. He's going to expose himself because of that. Suppressed picks it up and takes him down.
Numbers advantage for Gamers First, and just what they need to bounce right back in this game. Both teams came out ready to play. You're seeing them at their full competitive level. This is going to be a tight matchup all the way through. Gamers First might be the number 6 seed, but with that one roster change, you're seeing some signs of new life from them. But it's FaZe Clan who are breaking through. 3 go down for Gamers First, and now FaZe are ready to answer back with time on that hill as the fight at the back of C. It doesn't end up as a trade. Royal 2 gets the clean kill and now wins over a Repulsor as well.
Very fortunate there for Gamers First that they didn't go all 4 down 10 seconds later with camo coming up. Because of that timing, they're going to have a chance off the reset to play defensively on this hill and on this camo. Royal 2 in the back of C has that Repulsor to work with, so he's not going to be sent off the map. Instead, he's going to trade with Sab Snakebite. Looking to lock down the last remains of this hill, but G1's done a great job to come back and get it to the halfway mark.
Yeah, but it's back-to-back rounds of 3 or 4 down that leads FaZe just seconds away from going up 2-0. Gamers First maybe have time for one last push, but a Slay trade 1-for-1, it's not going to be enough, and Renegade is just being a nuisance at the back of C. That's a 2-0 lead. Gamers First had the initial time on hill number 2, but they weren't able to clutch up the round of Slays that they needed to lock it in. And once again, early rotation to the next hill, and this is their chance. This is the most easily defendable hill on the map if they can hold it, but it's Frosty breaking through with the team fire with the shock rifle. Lines on the double, looking for the triple, barely hits the collarbone instead of the headshot on Boo Boo Doo, but the team fire is going to be enough to clean up those slays.
And now Falcated goes down staggered. You might see some split spawns. Sab and Suppressor over on the gold side. Boo Boo probably spawns out by long haul. Yes, he does. And this is going to cause some chaos here for Gamers First and Magic. I got to say, I think the most concerning issue I've seen based on that eye test is that G1, they've played their process as well in the sense that they've been the first to early rotate to each of these 2 hills back to back. But it's about to be a 3-0 lead for FaZe if they don't watch out.
Gotta watch out, Gamers First, and almost a must-win situation. I know that you have to get 4 hill captures, but this one feels decisive. Just like if you're, down 2-0 in a series, you don't want to be down 3-0 in a King of the Hill, and that's the numbers for Gamers First. They get the slays that they need. They're getting the time on the hill. Can their defense hold? It's Falcated at the top. Gets some nice crossfire, leaves Renegade at 1 shot, and Suppressed across the map is going to chase down the rest of that kill. Gets to Renegade before he can regen, and now Suppressed might also make a play for that camo as he lines up, threads the needle to the top of control. Suppressed is eyeing that camo, but it's Sab who jumps to low ground. Suppressed holding onto that crossfire is enough for Gamers First to get their first capture on the board.
Oh, here we go. Right time, right place as we see Sab secure the double kill to help secure that first score for Gamers First, and he gets a camo to boot. Starting to see a little bit of momentum, a little bit of resources stack up in favor of this Gamers First roster. Snakebite, though, doing a great job recognizing the last remains of that camo, and he's going for more. He's got the double kill on Falcated. Last player alive in the back as he is Boo Boo, with 3 players from FaZe collapsing on him. He has no hope.
No hope for Gamers First on that defensive line. They did get probably a third of the hill captured, maybe a quarter in that early rotation. Gamers First, every hill, they've been quick to rotate to the next objective. It was broken up quickly, though, by the aggression from FaZe and more aggressive plays as FaZe get 2 down for Gamers First. Make it 3. Falcated as the last alive, clinging to the shock rifle as his only defense, hoping that it can fill the role that the teammates would normally take. And he finds 1 kill, and then it's enough for the team fire. The rally troops looking for a little bit of interlink damage by shooting out that weapon pad.
Falcated gets no slays in that sequence, but he's the top performer for G1, now getting a slay, but his survivability there, absolutely massive. When you look at being the last player alive, did a great job anchoring that top glass area that looks directly down into the hill. So for Falcated, didn't really slay out there, but made a great play nonetheless.
Was a great play, and now we see the slays are going the way of Gamers First right when they need it. They need to tie up the game right here by capturing this hill. It's Snakebite at the back of C with the plasmas and the frags, but it's Suppressed with the double kill, taking both down. Watch out, though. Renegade at the top of batteries has a line of fire over the objective. Falcated rotates to the camo. Frosty shuts it down. Camo's gonna sit there on the ground at stacks, being won over by FaZe.
Oh, what do you focus on here if you're FaZe? You got the last couple seconds of hill for Gamers First to defend. You got the camo down over by stacks. They're able to pick up the hill and the camo. Massive collective pickup as they take down 3 from G1 as well. Will it be a team by Falcated just sort of flying out for free? He goes down as well, and now the stagger is on for FaZe Clan and likely the 3rd hill as well.
Falcated was making that last-ditch effort to contest the hill. In worst case scenario, respawns back with the team to try to early rotate yet again. It's been the strategy throughout the game for Gamers First to early rotate to the next hill. This only paid off in 1 out of 3 objectives overall. Boo Boo Doo has that shock rifle, full ammo, perfect shot off the rack for the double kill. That's an all-star performance.
All right, Gamers First, down 2 with 2 minutes left. They are absolutely in this, and especially when you consider the fact that FaZe, they've won 100% of the games that they've held an opponent to 2 hills or less. However, if they let an opponent get 2 hills or more, they lose every single one of those games. So the win condition could not be more stark for FaZe Clan. You cannot let Gamers First score this hill. Otherwise, history, as far as history is concerned, G1 takes this game.
Well, G1 have time to work with, right? They have a minute 45. If they can get this capture without letting, let's say, 30 seconds of time on the clock pass them by, they can have plenty of time, over a minute for that game time potential capture. But they need to get this Whirlpool Hill. And FaZe, they might be prioritizing slays a little bit more, eyeing that clock. They could get the 4th capture, or they can burn out time. That's their luxury with the lead. It's Snakebite rotating around, finds the back of Boo Boo Doo Boo, takes the back smack, and Snakebite, oh, that beautiful, perfectly placed grenade across the map. Cleared out Snakebite, but Frosty is there. FaZe still winning over the camo, while Gamers First prioritize the objective, but nobody is there. Nobody's on the hill.
Only 8 seconds left on this clock in regulation, and the further that clock dwindles down, the further the chances of G1 coming back dwindle down, as that double kill on the backs of 2 players from G1 is going to be clutch for Frosty as FaZe looks to secure the end of this hill. They want to make sure they get out of that hill immediately. As you can see, Frosty looking to push out of that hill. Doesn't want to make sure he stops the general clock, with G1 only having 1 minute to go.
1 minute left, and the fact that this capture has been stopped is almost the win condition here for FaZe. They're trying to keep Gamers First at that just 1 hill capture, but a good round of slays here coming through for Gamers First. Breathe some life back into this roster. Wondering if that damage over time is going to be enough to take down Renegade from the Disruptor pistol, but it looks like it's not. So Falcade doubling back, trying to deal out damage, ends up picking up a kill before being taken down, and weakens a couple of players for hopefully suppressed. Again, it's G1 finding the trade, but not finding the outright wins on these kills.
The path to a comeback just gets murkier and murkier for this G1 roster, and I look at the chance that they do have to come back. I don't know, it's just not there. I want to say if they do come back, it could be on the back of camo. I've seen nothing but camo grabs for FaZe Clan, so that's been a point of contention that really hasn't been contested enough if you're G1.
Yeah, I'm gonna make it just a little bit worse for G1. The next hill, it resets. It goes back to that bottom mid, and when you don't have enough time to work with, that's why they needed a minute plus, right, to try to even tie up the game. But they ran out of time on this 5th hill. They didn't get the capture in time. They're just gonna run out of clock here. At least assuming we got 3 seconds left, and even suppressed back in the corner. No desperate push. That's a GG's. Let's head to game number 2.
Yeah, tough start there for G1. They have one of the best records in King of the Hill. Actually, G1 King of the Hill, 65% win rate. FaZe King of the Hill win rate, 67%. So edging out G1 overall in the macro and the micro here in this series. In game 1, FaZe take it 3-1 and start off really hot. And I gotta say, Magic, FaZe Clan, this is a team that I remember we'd look at Renegade stats from day 1 to day 2 of those open series. Remember, day 1, he's playing against Billy Bob 420 and you know, other teams in the lower brackets, right? He's not playing against anybody from the HCS's most elite. But Renegade on day 2's, his KD ratio flies up despite playing against better competition. There's just something about Championship Sunday. There's just something about Champ Bracket that FaZe just seems to relish.
Yeah, and I think that is a great way to summarize what we saw in game number 1. FaZe turned up. They FaZe up right there in game number 1. It was quite a decisive victory. It wasn't a full sweep. Credit to G1 for getting the hill capture, but 1 wasn't enough. And FaZe looking very confident, very ready to fight. And like you said very well, they come to their truest form, their best version of themselves when they're up against tough competition. So maybe there's a little bit of a respectful nod to G1 that they are bringing out some of the best from FaZe. And
this was a really important moment right here where G1 almost had half on that, you know, super tough to contest hill. But look at the clock that dwindled away. Look at how much time FaZe was able to get because of that push in from the shock rifle. And I go back to how kind of just looked like G1 ran out of time there. So that's a moment in time where you look back and say, wow, just not enough efficiency. And we're starting to see that objective efficiency get stronger and stronger for FaZe Clan as we hop on board here. Game 2 on Aquarius.
It looked like the offense from FaZe beat out the defense from Gamers First, and FaZe had that momentum. They were the team that was setting the pace in game number 1. So in game 2, in this Slayer Aquarius, Gamers First, they need to steal back the pace of the game, which is such a hard thing to do. They're going to give it their best effort, though, to fight it out and to gain that control. Falcated already with 3 slays. A little bit of an early lead here for G1. Gonna be a tied-up game as Renegade finds the kill, and the battle for top mid is where the attention is focused. Suppressed is quite literally suppressed by that dynamo grenade. Forced to low ground, forced to stall, wait for the shield to regen before recontesting.
And the task doesn't get any easier here in game 2 for G1 as FaZe. They have the best KD at 1.15 and the best record, 37 and 14 in Slayers. So something's got to give. This FaZe clan so talented at slaying out, seeing it on display time after time. But so far here in the early goings of this one, Gamers First is going toe-to-toe.
Staying toe-to-toe with FaZe is the first part about trying to, set the pace for the game, which I think is even more crucial in a game of Slayer, controlling the momentum. Gamers First are hanging in there. I want to see them start to take over as we approach that first quarter of the match. There's a lot still up for grabs, but it's Royal 2 with the heat wave. 3 thrusters. Don't underestimate those thrusters. Something I learned from the Honda Fan Cup 1v1s is how crucial the thruster play can be, especially in any isolated 1v1 situation, which Falcated or suppressed are around the corner. Royal 2 might find himself in a 1v2, maybe even a 1v3 as Gamers First are finding kills. Royal 2 is full system, uses that thruster for a boost, and the heat wave follows, but again traded out. Headlock 10-10 as Snakebite is trapped in the back of a refrigerator.
This is pretty impressive here from Gamers First as far as playing defensively, in the sense that it's always FaZe clan to get these first couple slays. As you see Frosty open up with the double kill, but look at this. G1 always answer back. Again, they take down Frosty specifically. So I don't know if you can trade out for the entirety of this game if you're G1 from start to finish. I don't know if a team's ever won by trading out the entirety of a Slayer match, but so far so good for them as now they're starting to edge it out. Now up 2. Wow.
There we go. Those are 2 clean kills. So when we talk about trading out, I saw some questions in the chat from yesterday. Trading out means you get a kill, but you sacrifice a death is a process. So it ends up as a net 0 for both sides. And right there, Gamers First now with 3 kills in a row that are not traded out. They're 3 clean kills that FaZe don't take advantage of until now as Frosty gets the assist down to 1. He's getting double teamed from the push behind. Falcated trying to trade out. Falcated is weak. Bubu Dubu steps in. That's the perfect bait and switch, but it's Renegade with the camo. Strolls around behind, use teammate as a distraction to get the position for the double.
Wow, Renegade out in the open, and I have to imagine maybe the thruster wasn't there, so just great recognition there from G1 to spot that camo, take it down. But I need one better. If you're a G1 fan, you need one better in that. You need G1 to grab this next camo. That is too many camos in a row. You go from one landscape, you go from one planet to another, and the same issue exists with these camo grabs being far too free and easy for FaZe clan. Looking to see if G1 can grab this next set of camo, and that could be a way for them to extend on this lead.
Yeah, if the camo wasn't in play there, that could have been a very different chain of events. But nonetheless, Gamers First are holding on to now a 4-point lead. They stayed neck and neck through the first quarter of the game, and now second quarter, if we're breaking this up like basketball or football, Gamers First are starting to climb away. One team wipe of the spread between the 2 teams. And now is the point in the game where Gamers First can get those trade-off kills. They would still get the win if they traded 3 kills for the second half of this match.
Yeah, exactly. Now you could play for trades, and I guess Magic, the only thing better than FaZe clan this year in Slayers is G1 on Aquarius in Slayers. 5-0. They've never lost on Aquarius, and they have a team KD of 1.2. FaZe with the #1 overall KD of 1.15. So that just goes to show how much more efficient this G1 squad is on Aquarius. But that must be a little bit of a caster's curse. 3 go down, but hey, there's a blessing in disguise. Bubu Dubu has G1's first camo, and what a guy to have it. One of the best camo players in the league right here.
I will always remember Bubu Dubu with the camo pickup on a CTF Aquarius, gets the overkill, runs the flag, wins the game. An incredible active camo player. And the first player on G1 to hit double digits, and now the triple kill. Looking for the overkill, but can't engage with Frosty until the shield regens. Now doubling back. It might not be the overkill, but it's the smart play made by Bubu Dubu.
Bubu Dubu with the 120% optimal efficient 4 kills. He's assisting on a 5th, a 6th. Bubu Dubu absolutely popping off with his camo, extending the lead to 10 for G1.
It was just a 4-point game. It was just a 5-point game, and then doubled up. up by the killing spree, the camo use of Boo Boo Doo. You set it up so well, Mikowski. One of the best camo players in the league, and you can see why. Double back, record that little stream of events, and learn how to use the camo for yourself, because Boo Boo Doo is the master of the camo.
All right, Jesse has woken up. He's 13-4, and he's got 6 assists, so it's not like he's playing selfishly. Playing for Slace, he's helping out as well, putting so much damage, participating in so many of the 19, 20 or so out of the 39. So almost half of the Slays here. Boo Boo Doo has been involved heavily. As Royal 2 answers back with a triple of his own, a potential overkill on Boo Boo himself. It's the assist that goes down for Frosty instead, and with that, FaZe is back in it, but it's still a pretty comfortable lead for G1.
Yeah, but I mean, that's a full team wipe, right? So a 10-point game now cut to 6, one more team wipe, and FaZe Clan is right back in this. So I don't know if I'd say comfortable lead anymore, but still a significant lead for Gamers First if they can continue to ride this out in the home stretch of the game. Only 8 kills away, holding on, clinging to that 6-point lead. You don't want to open the door even a crack for FaZe. That team wipe, that triple kill from Royal 2 is giving them hope in the final stretch. A nice takedown there from Suppressed is going to slow down that offensive, and it's G1 once again controlling the pace of this game. Exactly what they needed to bounce back from game 1.
A little sloppy there from Boo Boo, but he does enough to get the slay, get the trade on Renegade, which at this point is what G1 is strategically playing for. Falcon goes down with that heat wave. Sav's gonna go down, but can he earn the trade? That's the question. Yes, he does. So absolutely massive play there from Sav, and even Boo Boo Doo earlier, kind of looking a little sloppy, both the players, but getting the job done. It doesn't have to be pretty. It just needs to be effective, and that's what G1 is right now.
I would say that the effective play is pretty, okay? Like, honestly, if it gets the job done, you know what? Like what you're saying, it doesn't have to look smooth, it doesn't have to be stylish, but right now, Gamers First are just looking for those efficient plays. 2 kills, taking every trade opportunity they can. Boo Boo Doo has Frosty weakened. He's rotating around to Fridge, but look at how FaZe are starting to adjust. 2 players are rotating to mid on the Dynamo side over there on card. 2 players in the utility. Boo Boo Doo is going to be in trouble if he overextends because he is at risk of getting singled out. Not going to stop him though. The second that shield comes back, he's back in the fight. Frosty's left to one-shot. Frosty escaped. The trade out of kills. But Gamers First find 1. It's only a 2-point game. Gamers First 1 kill away. And it's Sab who finds the final trading kill just in time. Valcade had rotated to top mid for camo. Was maybe the insurance, the backup plan. But it looked like Gamers First were able to stick with plan A to get them tied up in the series.
Oh, whew. And the cheeks might have clutched up a little bit if you're a G1 fan, but instead, G1 clutching up in that game 2, Aquarius Slayer and Magic. We set it up. We teed it up. Absolutely. It was the camo usage that was just not there in game 1 for G1. And when you got a player, it's camo's good at any player's suit, right? Everybody's going to have an advantage with camo. But when it's Boo Boo freaking Doo Boo with the camo, you got to watch out because he might just find 8 slays. That's ridiculous. We talk about getting 2. If you get 2, 3, like, that's a great camo. Yes. This guy was responsible for 8 slays on this camo run. You see the triple kill here on your screen. And may I add as well, this game was just it was just separated by a couple kills until Boo Boo Doo Boo and G1 got camo. That was the key to the game. That was the key to this play, and that was the key to why we now have a 1-1 tie in this winner's semis.
Absolutely the turning point of the game, potentially the turning point of the series if G1 can keep their foot on the gas. Boo Boo Doo with the triple kill, and we saw right here, eyeing that overkill, and even though the overkill doesn't happen, the slay comes through, and Boo Boo Doo off of that killing spree, off of that 4th kill, still had half of his shield, which really spurred him forward with the rest of the final seconds of that camo. But we got no time to celebrate. We're in game number 3, and all we know is that this series is going to a game 4 on board with Boo Boo Doo Boo, hiding at concrete, regenning that shield. Oddball is first picked up by FaZe.
Oh, wow. Interesting. I thought we were going to have a situation where both teams play for this OS off the rip. Instead, FaZe pulls it to Snipe Tower, and that's going to pull some attention away from this overshield. Really going to cause a strategy decision here early in this game. What do we play for? The defense of that oddball or the overshielder? Hey, why not both?
The only thing I'm surprised by... FaZe got both. FaZe got the overshield. FaZe got the oddball. The only thing I was surprised by on that push was Boo Boo Doo Boo ran right past Plasma Pistol spawn, didn't stop to pick it up, wasn't ready to start to counter that overshield play. And now it's Renegade. It's really FaZe Clan with everything, both power-ups and the objective in hand. Royal 2 now trying to make a rotation. They might try to take this all the way over to the house, all the way over to scoreboard, the A side. If Renegade can clear a path with the snipe, he hits the body shot. It's not enough for the kill. 2 go down for each side. Frosty holding on to both power weapons.
Frosty with the T-squared combo. I don't know. Maybe we should call it the Lucid combo. Who's rocking Heat Wave Snipe the most? It's got to be Lucid, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
As we see Frosty look to put it to good use. Right now, he's only being efficient as a DPS monster, but by maintaining his life and getting that damage down, he's having a great sequence here. Frosty looking to cause some chaos. All the attention on his teammates until that push comes in from the backside of the garage door. Frosty with the strong side repulsor gets away with his life. And look at this. The tower setup will be instantaneous because of it. Huge play there from Frosty, staying alive.
Frosty and Repulsor plays on live fire. Do you remember this from just a couple weeks ago with Frosty's Repulsor jump at the back of B off of that wall to pop out like a zombie from the grave? Now Frosty with another incredible Repulsor play to stay alive, but it's Gamers First with that heads up counter rotation of the objective. Even though FaZe seem to have momentum, Gamers First hold on to the oddball, and now Slay's going in favor of G1.
What a favorable spawn sequence there for G1. Had all of FaZe spawning on that screen door side of A. And that's where G1 was. So FaZe got spawned into the pinch. All the while, Booba Dooba rotates that oddball from Nest all the way to Overshield, making a C with his body, drawing a line on the map. And you gotta hope it leads to a championship here for G1, because beating FaZe Clan, that would tell me that you are up to the challenge of potentially winning this 4K.
And if you make a full 360 around the map, you make that just shows how much you love the objective. Right?
I'll take it. Hey, that's exactly what we got. Suppressed with the full O rotation. All jokes aside, this is incredible ball positioning from G1.
Incredible rotation, and Suppressed now at the back of B with the oddball has the opportunity here to reset if the push comes on, and the push is here. There's 3 players from FaZe. Suppressed jumps up, milks the final 2 seconds on the oddball before launching ball off the map, but oh no, 4 go down for Gamers First. They follow the path of that oddball and are hitting the respawn screen.
G1 off that efficiency with the positioning and the oddball have a 20-second lead, but that's getting cut into quickly. Frosty with the Lucid combination once again. They seem to be really trying to work those 2 weapons into the hands of that standout player Frosty, and for good reason. But Boo Doo takes him down once again. 2-2. Uh-oh, Boo last player alive. Can he get this oddball play ball? This is gonna be so crucial here. But wow, despite 3 down for Gamers First, there's no pressure on Boo Doo just yet. He's gonna get a predict stick on Royal 2 as he continues to earn ball time, but doesn't get much. But his teammate Suppressed picks it up. I'm just now waiting for G1 to get this reset, and that would be a really frustrating sequence for FaZe, because they get the slays, they get the positioning, but they have no ball time to speak of. Great play there from G1, but you got to watch out. FaZe has the OS.
The one weakness that we see from FaZe Clan, they are not weak in the slaying department, but every once in a while we see them winning slays and not winning the objective control, which is why you see that Gamers First still have this 19-second lead. That Overshield 1 did help FaZe get back in the fight, but the stabilization here from Gamers First, they're back in the play. Renegade rotating scoreboard, has that low ground position, and he doesn't even mind the low ground, still wins out a kill. But it's Sab in prime position to break through this hold. The double kill comes through, and now it's FaZe that are trying to rotate the oddball away.
Got to be a little concerned here if you're FaZe Clan. I know we're at the halfway mark in this series, but based on the eye test, this is exactly what I saw from G1 when they beat FaZe Clan. At the time, the only team to beat FaZe Clan online, and they're doing it with objective efficiency. 8 more slays, 2 more team wipes for the likes of FaZe Clan, but G1 has this lead, however narrow it may be.
A nice little win from Snakebite there at the back of the pillars, and now Royal 2 with a nice little frag grenade to start off this push. And this is them seeing the urgency of the situation. FaZe Clan realizing they cannot allow Gamers First to have a hold, and Gamers First were not able to rotate that ball back to B. They weren't able to get the reset, so now it's FaZe gonna have a strong defensive setup. Gamers First left to scramble. They have that 5-point lead. Overshield 20 seconds away, and Renegade with the Bandit perfect, the newest weapon in this sandbox, looking pretty nice in the hands of Renegade.
Final quarter of this match. on display now as both teams are virtually tied at the 75 mark. G1 with one down. Frosty with that repulsor play. Once again, we saw him use that exact same movement tech to almost to survive from flying off the map. Here he just simply survives against Falcated. Frosty with the play of the game might just have FaZe with this round 1 victory. But no, it's going to be a reset. So G1 with life and an overshield to work with.
Frosty doesn't die. Frosty doesn't die. It's taken everything from G1 to shut him down. Finally, it's suppressed. He needed the overshield. He needed the snipe. And even as Frosty finally is taken down, look at the damage that has been dealt. 2 seconds, 1 second. FaZe steal back round number 1. It looked like it was in the control of G1. FaZe find the answer. Frosty right here. This play, this survivability, it was after he just secured a double kill.
Does he?
So he had the double kill. You thought he'd be weak, but no.
Does he have the repulsor from some yet unannounced DLC that we don't know about? Frosty got like 3 times the height on that repulsor, and you could tell Falcated was really taken off guard by that. He couldn't hit his shot despite the fact that Frosty was just floating in the air like a piñata.
Frosty is too icy, Mikowski. You can't take him down. No pinata Frosty here. Incredible plays, incredible movement. 2 incredible repulsor plays from Frosty in just 1 round of oddball. And what that does now in this series, in this game, it's back to gamers first. The pace of the game in control of FaZe, along with the oddball, along with that overshield, time and time again.
God.
This is the deja vu what we saw in round 1.
It's the exact, you said that you took the exact words I felt, Magic, was deja vu, because this is exactly what it looked like to start that last round. FaZe with full control. They grab overshield, snipe, and oddball time off the rip. That is a devastating start to this round 2 if you're G1.
Rough start for gamers first, but what they are capable of, they have a strong mental as a team. They have the persistence, they have the experience. How do they regain? It's Royal 2 getting the shots from behind. The pinch is in. It did force FaZe to play that ball out into kind of no man's land, out into the open field. So it comes down to the next round of slays, and right now the slays are all for FaZe.
And these are all almost pivs at this point. I'm not even really seeing much teamwork. FaZe is just out skilling, out skill issuing gamers first at this rate. Another 1v1 win for Snakebite. This is just full on devastation, destruction, and for FaZe, and depression if you're G1.
Oh, that's rough. I mean, I like the alliteration, but that's rough. I can feel that right now. And already half of the time nearly won over by FaZe Clan off the back of those pivotal 1v1 fights. Finally, we see G1. They're winning a couple of pivs, but it's not enough. FaZe Clan rotate the oddball away, but that means overshield's gonna be up for grabs for gamers first. It's in the back pocket of suppressed, waiting for the opportune moment, trying to get full optimization of this power up, and that's gonna do it. A nice melee takedown, takes almost no damage in the process, looking for the double. Still half of the overshield to work with as the slays go in the favor of gamers first. They need to, and they do win over this objective.
All right, early in this round, and it's already a 1-minute milk session for FaZe Clan. You get 30 seconds of milk, you're off to a great start. FaZe with 60 seconds instead, but look at this. G1 has the snipe tower set up, the oddball, and look at that bait from Boo Boo Dubu, but the repulsor counter is one better for FaZe Clan. Just as it looked like Boo Boo Dubu had FaZe figured out and just lying in wait, they have an answer in the repulsor. They take over the tower. Boo Boo Dubu back down to the low ground. Duel comes out on top with that heat wave, but he trades out. Sab trades out with a nest, and it's just bodies flying and dying back and forth.
Yeah, the kill feed, I mean, you could be an auctioneer if you try to read off all of that information. Does look like gamers first had the numbers advantage ever so slightly. Sab gets to that oddball, rotating right now in cuts, not a conventional position, but trying to maybe get some tower control. But Frosty has the sniper on the other side, a little bit of a toss to the other objective. You see the snipe shot grazing past, maybe piercing the cartilage of Boo Boo Dubu's ear as that snipe round went through. And all in all, it's FaZe Clan who come out with the objective again. Gamers first are down 60+ points, and it's running away from them.
Yeah, Boo Boo Dubu with an earring, but he wants the ring. He's competed in the Halo World Championships. He's gone far in the Halo World Championships, regarded as a household name in Halo. You expect a guy like Boo Boo Dubu to be in some of these grand finals. I just don't know, with the likes of FaZe and Optic occupying those 1 and 2 spots, if they'll ever give it up.
Yeah, right now it really is Optic and FaZe gatekeeping that number 1, number 2 spot, but this game is not over yet. It would take, it's a mountain right now for Gamers First to overcome. Do they have the tenacity, the willpower to do so? It's Renegade with the sniper at the top of tower. The fight for overshield. Snake, by knowing he has that cover, can just lie in wait. The miss on the side, the second one connects. Still a fight for overshield. Oddball is sitting dormant this whole time. Boo Dubu might try to make a break for that OS, but he can't. Renegade pushes forward. Once that sniper is spent, Renegade said, I protected that overshield for myself.
Wow, and did you see what Renegade did right there? First of all, the rotation from Snipe Tower down to overshield, almost like single-handedly earning it himself. He had a little help from his teammates, but that was almost all Renegade. But going back to Renegade securing that overshield, this is one thing a lot of people don't pick up on. If you're no shields with overshield facing death that's imminent, if you jump back up onto the platform and clamber, it almost skips the animation to allow that overshield to pop a few milliseconds before. That was how Renegade stayed alive, and he's continuing it with the round 2 victory, 2-0 sweep. Renegade on fire, and so too is FaZe Clan.
I might need you to break down that play again. You're saying that if you do the clamber, it actually it speeds up the activation of overshield?
Yeah, so if you that'd be a good time for a slow-mo there, but yeah, there's a it skips the, so when you pop that overshield into the suit, right, you take the overshield and you almost like throw it out like a basketball that's about to be dunked, and then you plant it into the suit, right? All of that time that goes on when you complete that animation gets negated when you just clamber and jump up onto a platform. It could be anything. You could have done it on cuts. You could have done it on any you could have done it jumping up the Snipe Tower if you wanted to hold on to the overshield that long. But that was how Renegade in that situation fried, stayed alive, won the overshield, won the game. FaZe Clan up 2-1.
This kind of information, Chan, I hope you appreciate the value that like Mikowski and the rest of the talent are bringing to the show, because this is the type of like pro strats that you'd have to like buy a Metafy session in order to unlock this kind of intel, and Mikowski's giving it to you for free. I mean, you might as well just drop a sub on the channel like while you're at it if you want to say a thank you for getting these pro tips across the board. And every little detail comes together for FaZe to take the lead in the series. It was Frosty with literally the game-changing repulsor plays. Twice he used a repulsor jump sky high to stay alive, preserving his life to get back in the fight that much quicker. I love the sticky grenade from Boo Dubu, who was tossing the grenades out to Big Door preemptively. One finds its mark, but in the end, it's FaZe taking back control of the series.
Yeah, and it was ironic because we talked about the lack of efficiency from FaZe Clan with the OBJ, and then once G1 had that 20-30 second lead, they fell off the objective efficiency, and FaZe Clan fell back on it. So it all came down to that, as it all comes down to this game 4. G1 back against the wall. FaZe needing 1 win to move on in this series to winners round 3, our winners finals. So this is an important match right here. You could find yourself deep in the tournament with the win here.
And a big thank you to Taylor, that's Snow Stats, for giving us stats throughout today's tournament.